Good morning, Methods of Research. This is Dr. Masnick, and I wanted to give you a brief little discussion on one topic that's within Module 3. I think the PowerPoints do an excellent job in discussing with you the different types of research, population, all the terminology that you need to know, and the different kind of experimental designs and why they're important, and your choices can be good or bad. So I think if you really watch that presentation, that's going to give you everything you need to have a solid foundation for moving on if you're going to go into grad school. Or it actually is interesting because most people don't like research because they don't understand it. And then I've had several students who've actually taken this class and enjoyed it so much, they've actually turned out to go into fields where they are more academic like I am and have decided to do research. It's really fun and interesting because it allows you to be you, and it allows you to take the pieces of the system that you find interesting and explore them. So it's kind of, you have a boss, but it's kind of like you still kind of make your own way. All right. So the one thing I did want to discuss with you, because it plays into your discussion post in this topic, which we'll talk to you about. The discussion will ask you whether or not causality was proven in the information that I did or did not give you. So first off, I just want to let you know, because my face-to-face students came to me yesterday and they were so frustrated because they could not find, they were looking for those 10 patients within the module. They're not there. Okay, so I want to tell you, stop looking for these imaginary 10 people that have headaches and were given medication or placebos. I have written that question so that it is intentionally extremely vague. I did that on purpose so that you could argue either way, and I will be able to know if you understand causality based on your description, your reasons for why you say yes, it was proven, or no, it wasn't. Okay, so there is no wrong answer unless you cannot support your answer. All right, so this is critical thinking. I'm going to tell you the 3 things that you must have. It's in the module as well, but I want to explain them to you so that you can actually decide how you want to answer that question. All right, so 3 things that you need to be able to prove causality. And with this, realize that's why most of the time we say there's a correlation, meaning there seems to be a connection between the 2 items, the 2 variables that you're looking at, but it's much more difficult to be able to say A caused a difference on B. Okay, and here are the 3 reasons why. So the first thing in causality is that you must have empirical association. And really the only thing that is telling you is that you have 2 variables, okay, and that you are conducting an experiment where you can visually see a change occur between A and B, all right? One is an independent variable, the other is a dependent variable. So the independent variable is the one that I'm taking, okay, and I am either putting something to or taking something away from the dependent variable. It seems a little backwards, but think about it. The dependent variable is basically what happens to it depends on whether or not it is introduced by the other variable, okay? So that's the one we're looking to measure and see the change in, okay? So again, what we need is empirical association, which means nothing more than you've been able to visually conduct some form of experiment and see a change in A because B has been applied or taken away from it. Okay? So for example, I don't want to use the example that you guys have for your discussion, but let's just say, which is funny because I had a headache this morning and it would be a great example. Um, okay. My teeth hurt. My jaw hurts. My part of my headache, I think, might be a part of this. Pain, okay? What was introduced to me in the last month is, yay, I went and got braces, okay? So I am having this force, this independent variable, which would be the aligners, put on my teeth, okay? So I am forcing them to move. Independent variable, the aligners. The dependent variable is, let's just say, how do I feel? Or you could say, are my teeth becoming straighter? Okay, let's just make it that. So it's very simple. Are my teeth straightening out to the way that I want them? So we're conducting an experiment by using aligners and introducing them to my teeth to try and alter their appearance. Okay, so the teeth are the dependent variable, the shifting, and then the aligners being attached are what's the independent variable. Okay, so if I attach the aligners and my teeth start to straighten out, you can see a difference. And that would be one thing that would lead to being able to say, well, there is a correlation because, wow, she's got the aligners in and they're starting to move. Okay, but I still got a couple of other things to look at before I can say that the aligners caused my teeth to become straighter. Okay, because who knows, it could be going to the dentist more often. There are other things that might contribute to it. We'll talk about that because that's one of the other things that you need as well. The second thing you need is appropriate time order. Okay, if all of a sudden my teeth miraculously start to straighten out because, let's say, I I don't use a straw anymore, okay? That using the straw could be an influence on the shape of your mouth and how you affect your teeth. My teeth could straighten out or become worse based on the food that I eat, the way I take care of them, brushing, flossing, this and that, okay? So you need to be able to see only the one variable, the aligners, that's all we care about. I need to see that my teeth straightened after the aligners were put on. If my teeth started straightening out beforehand, that means there's something else in there that can explain the change. If they did not come in the proper order, then you cannot prove causation. You're stuck with correlation, okay? So teeth crooked, put aligners on, teeth go straight. That's what you need to see. And sometimes when you're studying, and it depends on what you're studying, if you're in science or whatever, you're looking at a chemical reaction, that change can happen like that. So you need to realize it doesn't have to be a long period of time, like it's going to take 6 months to fix my teeth. It doesn't have to be something that is seen or studied over a long period of time. It could be something very quick. But the thing that's being introduced has to come first before the change in the other. Okay? I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, please email me. Okay? The last thing, I've kind of floated around it already, is called non-spuriousness. Big word for a really simple concept. All that means is that we are looking for non-spuriousness, meaning spuriousness is all the other things out here in the universe that might influence the changing in my teeth. Okay? I'll be an idiot. Let's just say, if all of a sudden I go through some traumatic experience and I go back to sucking my thumb like I did it, if I did that as a little kid, that pushing on my front teeth is going to make a difference in the way they're shaped. Okay. So then I can't say the aligners are responsible for the shifting of my teeth because there's something else that I'm introducing, okay, that could affect it. I could I could get punched in the mouth and that could shift my teeth. So again, the shifting of the teeth, did it have anything to do with the aligners? Yes, no, but could it also have been because somebody punched me in the face? Absolutely. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to control your environment. This is why we talk about having, and in your discussion, we talk about having a control group and an experimental group. So, and you're trying to control everything you can possibly think of to get rid of that spuriousness. Okay? So all I want to be able to do is rule in or rule out that the aligners made a change in my teeth, and nothing else can be responsible for it. Okay? So you have to have those three things to be able to say A caused B. All right? Which is why you don't hear it very often. And if you do hear it, you really need to think about these three items, because sometimes people will say, wow, that caused this to happen. And if you look at it, it didn't. Okay? For example, somebody gets into a car accident. Are they a bad driver? Was the other person a bad driver? Did the light change and you didn't see it? Did you skip the stop sign? Are you under the influence? Was somebody talking to you? Were you on the cell phone? Were you texting? All of those things would be spuriousness in explaining why you got into a car accident. It would be very difficult to find one thing that would explain it, unless you're on 95 and you get hit by a semi. You're driving fine, then you get hit by a semi. Nothing else influenced you. No bad weather, no erratic traffic going on. You're not speeding. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And then a semi hits you. Then I can say, okay, empirical association. We had A introduced to B. Time order. The car accident happened immediately after being hit by a truck. And then the non-spuriousness. There's nothing else in the universe that's going on that influenced my having a car accident. Okay? So when you go to look at that discussion post and it talks about people having headaches and some got a placebo and some got a medication, you decide whether or not you're going to support causation or if you're going to say, nope, it's just a correlation. And use these three things. I'm going to seriously look. I don't care. You don't have to type it in a paragraph form if you don't want. You can turn around and say, yes, causation was established because, number one, empirical association was seen because, and then give your answer. 2, time order was appropriate and seen because A happened before B. 3, non-spuriousness, no other outside influences were introduced, blah, 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 because, and then you can make up this scenario, okay? So that's why I gave you some very, very vague information to allow you to argue it either way. And if you want to go all out, argue it both ways. I'm fine, okay? If you have any questions or comments, one, don't go looking for those people. They don't exist in the module. They are a figment of our imagination, and we kept it very vague. So don't look for them. Don't feel like there is a saying yes or no to causality is right or wrong. It's only your definition and support that's going to make the difference on whether or not you get credit. Please make sure if you do put it in a paragraph form, that it is not one giant paragraph, okay? I've been taking off 2 points for that. This next time I'm going to take off 3. Next week I'm going to take off 4, because you have to learn APA format, and every thought, theory, process, whatever, everything deserves its own equal space. So break your work down into individual paragraphs. In addition to that, make sure you're using proper grammar and punctuation. I haven't been too evil on that, but and honestly, you guys, your citations have been really pretty good. Some of you, we have some work to do. So if you have some questions, again, you want to talk to a librarian, not somebody in the lab, because a librarian is an APA expert. Okay, they are trained forwards, backwards in that. You can reach out to me. You can buy, I don't recommend you having the APA pub manual until you're a little further along in the process and you understand, because it's hard to decide what to look up. So I prefer that you use, and the school actually promotes it, the OWL, and it's all capitals, OWL, Purdue, which is the university, and then just type in Al Purdue or Al Purdue APA format, and it'll take you right to it. And then it will literally ask you, where did you get the source from? It could be you heard it at a concert, you went to a lecture, you don't have the author's name, the book doesn't have a publishing date. It has everything that you can possibly run across. By the way, if you're using the class material to cite it, there is no excuse for you not having that citation perfect, because if you look on the left-hand side of the page, you've got module 1, 2, 3, go scroll down a little bit, and you'll see course citations. I gave them to you. Copy and paste them, okay? So questions, comments, please reach out. I just chose one topic that I wanted to discuss with you this morning so that you would be able to do that assignment, okay? It is vague, and it's intentionally that way, okay? So you guys have a great week. It's Wednesday, and hump day. We're almost there, all right? You guys have a great weekend, and I will talk with you soon.